Spirit of all, holding it together on a day such as this is no easy task. We're filled with gratitude for family and friends, and yet we know we must go our own ways. We face a world in need of transformation, yet we want to celebrate just a few more minutes. Holding it together on a day such as this is no easy task. We come to honor champions of the forgotten, those who speak out for our world, who refuse to be told to abide by the proper for the sake of justice. We come to honor voices for the voiceless, those who seek the common good on behalf of the ones they love, who give all in the pursuit of healing for the sake of compassion. Holding it together on a day such as this is no easy task. Yet we have only one life and live it on a single globe. Spirit of the universe, show us a way to walk with integrity. Amen.
Singers. As soon as they walk up, Please be seated. Good morning. I'm Jill Tiefenthaler, and I have the great honor of serving as Colorado College's 13th president. Welcome, proud parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, cousins and friends of our graduates. Thank you for being here. Welcome, dedicated faculty, staff, trustees, alumni, our speaker and honorary degree recipients. And welcome and congratulations to the Colorado College class of 2013. Over the past few months, I've talked informally with many of you, our graduating seniors, about your impending graduation at dinners at your off-campus homes, during my office hours in Warner, at senior presentations and celebrations, and just walking across the quad. Over and over again, I've heard essentially the same response. I am sad to leave, but I'm ready to go. And that response always brings a smile to my face, because all of us at CC, your professors and other mentors, and your president, hope our seniors will take this outlook with them. Yes, we are glad that you're sad to leave, because that tells us that good things happen for you at Colorado College. You're sad to leave your mentors. They pushed and challenged you in the classroom, on the playing field, and in your campus leadership roles. They also guide you and care for you. You're sad to leave your friends. College friendships are unique. It's unlikely that you will ever again form such strong bonds, because only in college do you live, learn, work, and socialize with the same people. I expect that you're also sad to leave this very special place. Of course, you'll miss the beauty and opportunity of Colorado and our inspiring peak, but you'll also miss this special place of learning where you embrace the life of the mind with limited distraction. And we're sad to see you go, class of 2013. You've had an enormous impact on our community. Your class, reflecting your generation, shares values that have benefited Colorado College. Dedication to service, concern for the environment and for sustainable living, tolerance of different views, and understanding of the importance of collaboration across and within communities. Your dedication to service has been recognized with several prestigious service awards, including the college being named for the first time to President Obama's 2013 Higher Education Community Service Honor Roll. Additionally, primarily because of two members of your class, Colorado College was selected as the Community Partner of the Year by the National Alliance on Mental Health for our support of their organization to raise awareness of mental health issues. Your concern for the environment has led to a concentrated effort to minimize waste on campus as you constructed the swap space, a place to exchange reusable items. Several of your classmates helped to advance a greenhouse project to not only benefit our CC farm, but also to serve as an educational feature that teaches students and the public about efficient solar energy as well as four-season growing techniques. Your class also helped meet the conservation targets in our sustainability plan, as we have reduced our water and electricity use dramatically over your 4 years at CC. You displayed your tolerance and appreciation of the importance of considering different views during campus debates, including one about endowment investment practices. Likewise, in your classes, your openness to considering other perspectives provided a necessary starting point for an educational experience in which faculty and students learn from one another and explore new ways of thinking about problems, both ancient and modern. And you are collaborative. This spirit has produced exciting initiatives that made the Colorado College community and benefited our campus. For example, after a successful bipartisan Election Day party in November, members of your class led the collaborative effort of the College Democrats and Young Republicans to create a monthly newsletter called the Purple Paper. Additionally, members of your class took a leading role in the strategic planning process by serving on each of the committees. This important and time-intensive work placed your peers side by side in collaborative, challenging, and creative discussions with staff, faculty, trustees, and community members shaping the future of Colorado College. When I reflect on the enormous contributions you've made to our community, I am optimistic about the future of the college, our country, and our global community. We will miss you. You're sad, but you're also ready to go, and you should be. I believe that who you are and what you've learned at Colorado College equip you to face any challenge. At CC, we're fortunate to attract amazing young people from across the globe, young people who are creative, independent, thoughtful, and passionate. Then over 4 years, we do all we can inside and outside the classroom to help you develop the knowledge, skills, and character that mark lifelong learners, imaginative individuals, and inspired leaders. The liberal arts education you received at CC has never been more relevant in preparation for work and life. The notions that we're becoming a more diverse society and the world is continuing to flatten point to the importance of a learning experience that promotes understanding and respect for different cultures and the value of seeing things from different perspectives. The notion that the future will be even more about collaboration and communication brings home the importance of a nimble mind, comfort with ambiguity, and the ability to speak and write well. All liberal arts skills you've developed at Colorado College. Your CC education has also helped you to develop important qualities that will help you throughout your life: focus, resilience, grit, and creativity. Through the block plan, you've learned to focus, to devote yourselves to a single subject at a time, instilling the importance of being present as a means of solving complicated problems. Our faculty have pushed you and challenged you. You have had to find the tenacity to write and then rewrite, to read and then reread. You were encouraged to try new things and to experiment. Sometimes you were wildly successful, and sometimes you failed. Your mentors stood by your side, encouraged you to pick yourself up and try again. Yes, you are ready. I look forward to seeing how each of you put your CC education to work in different fields, professions, and graduate programs. You are a talented and passionate bunch, and I'm confident that you will make us proud. You will treasure this day and the memories of your senior year for the rest of your life. As CC's president, I hope that the pride you feel as you walk across the stage today is only rivaled by the nostalgia with which you'll remember this place and the relationships you formed. As you continue to learn and to change, reflect on the times when you stumbled and even failed. Recall how your caring mentors and friends pushed you in the right direction and stretched your imagination and spirit. Keep in touch with each other and with your teachers, and always remember that this community and this campus is a place you can call home. Congratulations, and I look forward to celebrating with you and your families on the Cutler Quad following the ceremony. Now it is my pleasure to invite Dr. Suzanne Woolsey, Chair of the Colorado College Board of Trustees and the mother of 3 CC alumni, to extend greetings and congratulations on behalf of the board.
Good morning, everyone. I was not fortunate enough to be an undergraduate at Colorado College, but nor was my husband. But we remedied that by sending our entire gene pool to this college. Some of you out there may be thinking, you know, this is really terrific, but was this really worth it? The faculty might be thinking, wow, we've really got these great students, they've done well, but how much energy we had to put into them. The students may be thinking, you know, learning something new every 3.5 weeks is enough to kill you. And the parents may be thinking, you know, they're not the same kids they were when they left, and we think that's good. And our bank accounts aren't the same as when they left either, and we aren't sure how good that is. Let me assure you that you made the right decision. I spent a lot of my time worrying about energy efficiency, and I can say the energy put in by this group of students, faculty, parents, and administration have done wonders. And it's hard to believe because you don't actually know how much better it is here than it is elsewhere. When you go out in the world and you find your colleagues and friends who graduated from other universities and discover they don't know how to focus. They don't know how to learn something new every 3 weeks. They don't know that it's possible to build a team that can collaborate and move so fast that nobody else can even see you go by. But you know, and we are very proud to have you here, and we will be very proud to welcome you back anytime that you'd like to come. Thank you very much and welcome.
As demonstrated by the character and action of our students, Colorado College is an institution committed to the values of community service and intellectual engagement. It is only fitting, therefore, that our commencement speaker is someone who embodies these values to the highest degree. It is my pleasure to introduce Marian Wright Edelman, the founder and president of the Children's Defense Fund. In addition to her work as president of the Children's Defense Fund, a nonprofit child advocacy organization that works to ensure a level playing field for all children, Ms. Edelman has followed an adventurous path to where she is today. In 1964, she became the first African-American woman to be admitted to the Mississippi bar after graduating from Yale Law School. Before moving to Washington, D.C. to serve as legal counsel for Martin Luther King Jr.'s Poor People's Campaign, Ms. Edelman directed the NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund in Jackson, Mississippi. Already an accomplished woman, in 1973, Ms. Edelman founded the Children's Defense Fund. Over the past 40 years, the Children's Defense Fund has helped pass a number of critical pieces of legislation, including the Education for All Handicapped Children Act and the Adoption and Assistance in Child Welfare Act. Also, under Ms. Edelson's leadership, the organization has established a variety of programs and public awareness campaigns, including the largest mass demonstration for children in U.S. history, the Stand for Children at the Lincoln Memorial in 1996. Over the course of her career, Ms. Edelman has been recognized for her dedication and passion with over 100 honorary degrees, including a particularly great one from Colorado College in 1999. In addition, she is the recipient of a multitude of awards, including the Elbert Schweitzer Humanitarian Prize, the Heinz Award, a MacArthur Foundation Prize Fellowship, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and the Robert F. Kennedy Lifetime Achievement Award. There are few who have consistently demonstrated such a steadfast commitment to the cause of helping others as Marian Wright Edelman. Her life's path is an example for all of us. Please join me in welcoming back to Colorado College, this time as our commencement speaker, Marian Wright Edelman.
Thank you. I am very honored to be back at Colorado College with your trustees, with your president, with your faculty and administration, with your families, but most importantly with what I'm sure is the best graduating class in the history of Colorado College. Sounds like you're already doing wonderful things, but I hope that more or all of you will wander off the beaten path of career and help define or redefine success in 21st century America, asking not how much can I get, but how much can I do without and share, asking not how can I find myself, but asking more how can I lose myself in service to others. Service was an essential part of my upbringing in eating and sleeping and going to school. Carrying black adults for buffers against the segregated prison of the outside world in my small southern town that told me as a black girl that I wasn't important. But I didn't believe it because my parents said it wasn't so, my teachers said it wasn't so, my preacher said it wasn't so. So the childhood message I internalized was that as God's child, no man or woman could look down on me and I could look down on no man or woman. Couldn't play in segregated public playgrounds or sit at drugstore lunch counters. So my father, Baptist minister, created a playground behind our church. Whenever he and my mother saw a need, they tried to respond. There were no black homes for the aged, so my parents began one across the street, and our whole family had to help out. We didn't like it at the time, but that's how we children learned that it was our duty to take care of elderly family members and neighbors, and that everyone was our neighbor. Black church and community members were watchful extended parents. They reported on me when I did wrong, applauded when I did well, and they were very clear that doing well meant being helpful to others, achieving in school, and reading. My siblings and I figured out that the only time my daddy wouldn't give us a chore was when we were reading, so we all read a lot. Children were taught by example that nothing was too lowly to do, and that the work of our hands and of our hearts were both valuable, and of our heads. Our families, our congregations, our community made children feel useful and important. And while life was often hard and resources scarce, we always knew who we were, and that the measure of our worth was inside our heads and hearts, and not outside in personal possessions or personal ambition. I was taught that the world had a lot of problems, but that I could struggle and change them. That intellectual and material gifts brought the privilege and responsibility of sharing with others less fortunate, and that service is the rent each of us pays for living, the very purpose of life, and not something you do in your spare time or after you have reached your personal goals or earned that first $1 billion. Daddy used to always say, follow the need. If you follow the need because God runs a full employment economy, you'll never lack for a purpose worth living and dying for. Very grateful for these childhood legacies of a living faith reflected in daily service, the discipline of hard work, and a capacity to struggle in the face of adversity. Giving up was not a part of my childhood lexicon. You got up every morning, you did what you had to do, you got up every time you fell down, and you tried as many times as you had to until it was done right. Sounds like Colorado College has picked up on my parents. My elders had grit. They valued family life and rituals and tried to be and expose us to good role models. And role models were of two kinds, those who achieved in the outside world, and those who didn't have much formal education or money, but who taught by the special grace of their lives, Christ's and Tolstoy's and Gandhi's message that the kingdom of God is within. And every day I still try to get up and be half as good as those ordinary people of grace who shared what they had, as little as it was often, with others. I was 14 the night Daddy died. He had holes in his shoes with two children who had graduated from college, one child in Bennettsville school, another in college, and a vision he was able to convey to me, dying in an ambulance, that I, a young black girl, could be and do anything, that race and gender are shadows, and that character, self-discipline, determination, attitude, and service are the substance of life. I want to convey that same vision to you today. As you graduate into an ethically polluted nation and world where instant sex without responsibility, instant gratification without effort, instant solutions without sacrifice, getting rather than giving, and hoarding rather than sharing are the two frequent signals of our mass media, popular culture, political and economic life. The standard for success for too many Americans has become personal greed rather than common good. The standard for striving and achievement has become getting by rather than making an extra effort or helping somebody else left behind. Truth-telling and moral example have become devalued commodities. And nowhere is the paralysis of public and private conscience more evident than in the neglect and abandonment of millions of our children whose futures will determine our nation's ability to compete and lead in the new era. I quote Dietrich Bonhoeffer, the great Protestant German theologian who died opposing Hitler's Holocaust, in every speech, because he believed, as I do, that the test of the morality of a society is how it treats its children. Yet every day, the United States flunks Bonhoeffer's standard very, very hugely. Every 8 seconds of the school day, one of our children drops out of school. The majority of all of our children in all racial and income groups cannot read or compute in 4th or 8th grade at grade level, and 80% of black children and almost 80% of Latino children, who are already a majority of our babies and will be a majority of our child population within 10 years, cannot read or compute at grade level in 4th, 8th, or 12th grade, if they have not already dropped out of school. What is a child going to do in this globalizing world if they can't read or compute? They're going to be sentenced and or being sentenced to social and economic death. 1 in 3 black and 1 in 6 Latino boys born in 2001 is going to end up in prison in their lifetime. Our prisons are full of young, uneducated, hopeless young people, mostly men of color. The cradle-to-prison pipeline, which is a preoccupation of ours, is becoming, as is mass incarceration, the new American apartheid. And if we don't wake up, break it up, redirect our children into pipelines to college and career and successful work, we're going to lose the progress, the last 50 years of social and racial progress. Our states are spending on average 2.5 to 3 times more per prisoner than per public school pupil. That's a really dumb investment policy. We need to change course, and I hope you will help us do that. Every 32 seconds, one of our children is born into poverty. When Dr. King died calling for a Poor People's Campaign, we had 11 million poor children. Today we have over 14 million poor children. I think he would be calling for that. We should be calling for that. It is time to end child poverty in America. And every 3 minutes, an American child is arrested, and every 3 hours and 15 minutes, an American child or teen is killed by guns. I want to talk for a moment about gun violence, but we should recognize that this decade's struggle is for America's conscience and future. The battles will not be as dramatic as Gettysburg or World War II. And the bombs pose, but they will shape our place in the 21st century world no less. The bombs that are poised to blow up America's dream emanate from no enemies without. They are ticking away within ourselves, within our family, within our community, within our schools that are failing a majority of our children with our lack of community and our moral drift. I believe that we have lost our sense of what is important as a people. Too many young people of all races and classes are growing up unable to handle life in hard places without hope and without steady compasses to navigate a world that is reinventing itself at an unpredictable pace, both technologically and politically. My generation learned that to accomplish anything, we had to get off the dime. Your generation must learn to get off the paradigm over and over and to be flexible, quick, and smart about it. And it seems as if your new curriculum here, or whatever you've been doing to do things, to tackle on new problems very often, is helping to prepare you for this world you're going out to. But despite all the dazzling change, I do believe that there are some enduring values and agree with the poet Archibald MacLeish that there's only one thing more powerful than learning from experience, and that is not learning from experience. And I feel very strongly that adults should say to young people, and amplified by the way they live, some of the things that they think are important in life that helped us survive and succeed. I did this with my own 3 sons, and and I'm going to give them to you today, some of them, and like my children, you can take them or leave them. But lesson 1 is to remember that there is no free lunch in life. Don't feel entitled to anything you don't sweat and struggle for, and help our nation understand that it's not entitled to world leadership based on the past or on what we say rather than how well we meet and perform and respond to changing world needs. I hope each of you will struggle to achieve and not think for a moment that you've got it made, even with your Colorado College degree. It may get you in the door, but it won't get you to the top of the career ladder or keep you there. You've got to work your way up hard and continuously, and I know I don't have to remind you, but don't ever be lazy. Do your homework. Pay attention to detail. Take care and pride in your work. Take the initiative in creating your own opportunity and don't wait around for other people to discover or do you a favor. Don't assume a door is closed. Push on it. Don't assume if it was closed yesterday that it's going to be closed today or tomorrow. And don't ever stop learning and improving your mind, because if you do, you are going to be left behind, and so is our nation. Lesson 2 is to set thoughtful goals and to work quietly and systematically towards them. Don't feel you have to talk if you don't have anything worth mattering to say. Resist quick fix, simplistic answers and easy gains that often disappear as quickly as they come. So many of us talk big and act small. So many of us get bogged down in our ego needs and lose sight of deeper social needs. It's all right to want to feel important, but not if it's at the expense of doing important deeds, even if you don't get the credit. You can get a lot achieved in life if you don't mind doing the work and letting other people get the credit. You know what you do, and God knows what you do, and that's all that should matter. Third lesson is to assign yourself. My dad used to run us crazy. Every day after school, he'd ask if the teacher had assigned us any homework, and if we would say no, he said, well, assign yourself some. Don't wait around for your boss, friends, or spouse to direct you to do what you're able to figure out and do for yourself. Don't do just as little as you can to get by. Don't be a political bystander and grumbler. Vote. Democracy is not a spectator sport, and run for political office. And if you run and win, don't think that you and your re-election or job are the only point. If you see a need, don't ask why somebody doesn't do something. Ask why don't I do something. Hard work, initiative, persistence are the non-magic carpets to success for most of us. Fourth lesson, never work just for money. Money will not alone save your soul or build a decent family or help you sleep at night. We are the richest nation on earth with one of the highest incarceration, drug addiction, and child poverty rates in the world. Don't confuse wealth or fame with character. And don't tolerate or condone moral corruption, whether it's found in high or low places, no matter its color. Be honest, and demand that those who represent you be honest. And don't confuse morality with legality. Dr. King once noted that everything Hitler did in Nazi Germany was legal. Don't give anyone the proxy for your conscience. Fifth lesson, don't be afraid of taking risks and being criticized. If you don't want to be criticized, don't say anything, don't do anything, and don't be anything. It doesn't matter how many times you fail. What matters is how many times you get up. And don't wait for everybody to come along, because they won't. There's always a few people who get things done. And this country desperately needs more wise and courageous shepherds and fewer sheep who borrow from integrity to fund expediency. Sixth lesson, take parenting and family life seriously and insist that those you work for and who represent you do so. Our nation mouths family values we do not practice, and your generation has got to join the chorus of insisting that we change that. The President has proposed a $75 billion quality preschool program from birth to get children ready for school. I hope we will do everything we can to make that happen with the majority of women in the workforce and men in the workforce. Children need to be prepared to function in this society and to be ready for school. Don't stand on the sideline. Let's get out there and insist that gridlock Congress open up its doors and let children come into the schoolhouse door ready to learn. I hope you'll stress family rituals and be moral examples for your children. If you cut corners, they will too. If you lie, they will too. We don't really have a child problem in America, but we have a profound adult problem in America. I hope you will never tell, laugh at, or tolerate racial, ethnic, religious, or gender jokes, or any practices intended to demean rather than enhance another human being. Walk away from them. Stare them down. Make them unacceptable in your presence. Through daily moral consciousness, let's all counter the proliferating voices of racial and ethnic and religious division that are rearing their heads again. And let's face up to, rather than ignore, racial problems and poverty problems and the extraordinary unjust distribution of wealth and income in our society, which are America's historic and future Achilles heel. And let's not spend a lot of time pinning blame, rather than using time constructively to heal our divisions. The great Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel said it aptly: we are not all equally guilty, but we are all equally responsible for building a decent and just America. The last topic that I really feel so strongly about, because when I was here 15 years ago, it was right after Columbine. And now we're after Newtown, and we're after Aurora, and we're after Tucson. And when are we going to stand up and say we're going to stop the killing of children and of people by weapons that have no place in civilian hands? President Kennedy, after his assassination, Dr. King wrote that it was time for our nation to do some soul searching. And he said, while the question of who killed President Kennedy was important, the question what killed President Kennedy was even more critical. Dr. King believed the answer was that our late president was assassinated by a morally inclement climate. It is a climate filled with heavy torrents of false accusation, jostling winds of hatred, and raging storms of violence. It is a climate where men cannot disagree without being disagreeable, and where they express dissent through violence and murder. It is the same climate that murdered Medgar Evers in Mississippi and 6 innocent Negro children in Birmingham, Alabama, 50 years ago this year. Dr. King also said that the undercurrents of hatred and violence that made up this climate were fueled by our cultural embrace of guns, by our readiness to allow arms to be purchased at will and fired at whim, by allowing our movie and television screens to teach our children that the hero is one who masters the art of shooting and the technique of killing. By allowing all of these developments, we have created an atmosphere in which violence and hatred have become popular pastimes. The same winds of hatred, storms of violence, and easy access to and glorification of guns Dr. King believed killed President Kennedy would also soon kill Dr. King. On April 5th, 1968, after his assassination, Robert Kennedy spoke about the mindless menace of violence in America, which again stains our land and every one of our lives. It is not, Kennedy said, the concern of any one race. The victims of the violence are black and white, rich and poor, young and old, famous and unknown. No one, Kennedy said, no matter where he lives or what he does, can be certain who can suffer from some senseless action of bloodshed. And yet it goes on and on and on in this country of ours. Since Robert Kennedy spoke these words in 1968, he and 1,400,000 other American men, women, and children have been killed by guns. The staggering civilian death toll is twice the loss of life than all the American battle casualties in all the major wars we have fought since our nation began. Guns have lethalized our despair and anger and turned moments of emotional instability into tragic, permanent loss of life. Most sadly, in the last 50 years, we have lost over 166,000 children, 3 times the number of children died on our grounds in our country than we lost in Iraq, in Vietnam, and in Afghanistan. When are we going to say enough? A child is shot or killed by a gun every half hour. I don't know what's happened to us that the killing of children has become routine, even preschool children. Newtown shocked us, but we lose more preschool children to gun violence every year than we lose in police officers in the line of duty. Why should guns, which cause or are part of the deaths of 30,000 Americans each year, be the only unregulated consumer product in our nation? We regulate toy guns and teddy bears. Why should not we regulate these dangerous weapons? And I hope that all of you will really make your voices heard for common sense gun safety. And we've got efforts in Colorado and Massachusetts and Connecticut and in Maryland. And in that United States Congress, we have got to have common sense safety, universal background checks, a ban on assault weapons whose intent has, we're not trying to take anybody's hunting rights away. We're not trying to take away anybody's self-defense rights away, but these guns that mutilated these children in Newtown have no place in our hands, and a majority of NRA members and gun owners agree with that. Make your voices felt. Don't let those Newtown children die in vain. Finally, last lesson, never think that life is not worth living and that you can't make a difference. Don't ever, ever give up. I don't care how hard it gets, and it will get very hard sometimes. There's an old proverb that says, when you get to your wit's end, that's where God lives. Harriet Beecher Stowe said, when you get into a tight place and everything goes against you and you want to just throw in the towel, that's when you should never give in. And don't think you have to win immediately or even at all to make a difference. Sometimes it's very important to lose for things that matter. Don't think you have to be a big dog to make a difference, even though we need big, transforming changes in the priorities of our nation, which you can help and we can together make. I love my role model, Sojourner Truth, who was an illiterate but brilliant slave woman who could not stand slavery or second-class treatment of women, but she never lost an opportunity to speak out, and one day she got heckled by an old white man who stood up and said he didn't believe any more about her anti-slavery talk than for an old flea bite. And she snapped back at him and said, "That's all right, the Lord willing, I'm going to keep you scratching." I think that if we can all remember that if there are enough fleas biting the biggest dog, and there are enough of us who keep coming back when they flick some of us off, we will get gun safety regulations. We will end child poverty. You just have to bite whenever you see injustice. And if enough of us join that flea corps for children, that flea corps against gun violence, that flea corps against child poverty, we will transform our nation and make it un-American for any child to be poor, for any child to be illiterate, for any child to be unsafe and unable to grow up in our rich land. Shel Silverstein, the children's books writer, gets my last word. He says, listen to the mustn'ts, child, listen to the don'ts. Listen to the shouldn'ts, the impossibles, the won'ts. Listen to the never haves and listen close to me. Anything can happen, child. Anything can be. If you dream it, if you believe in it, if you have faith in it, if you struggled in it, if you never give up, Godspeed.
President Tiefenthaler. Over 2 millennia ago, Hippocrates started scientific medicine towards disengaging epilepsy from its previous treatment by what Hippocrates called magi, exorcists, beggar priests, and charlatans, and towards understanding epilepsy as a condition of the brain. People should know, he wrote, that from nowhere else than the brain arise pleasures, joys, laughter, playfulness, and pains, griefs, sorrows, and weeping. Epilepsy afflicts about 1% of us, and no more than half of those people have seizures under control. Epilepsy starts sometimes in infancy, and now we see, if we read the Gazette, in a series for which a member of this class was an intern, we have a new crop coming out of the wars with traumatic brain injury. It is Susan Axelrod's work with epilepsy that I rise to honor today. In the classics course she took earlier in her career at CC, Hippocrates on the Sacred Disease was not on the reading list, but other foundational works were. The religion major she completed, along with extensive work in music, in French, in urban studies, and the psychology of child development, fitted her for a wide variety of careers. But it has been her character and her resolute response to what life has offered that distinguish her. Dealing with a child's medical crisis can floor anyone or any family. We honor those who don't stay floored. Susan Axelrod emerged from an 18-year struggle with her daughter's uncontrolled seizures as wife and mother to an intact family, but also as the founder and director of a nationally rated research support and advocacy organization, Citizens United for Research in Epilepsy, CURE. CURE has awarded $20 million of grants, mostly seed grants to new research that is not yet eligible for NIH funding, National Institutes of Health. Susan Axelrod continues this year as chair of that organization, as well as being a member of National Institutes of Health and Department of Defense boards overseeing research in the field. She has family members, her husband and son, Ethan, who's a Colorado College graduate of class of 2009, are in the crowd today. Madam President, it is for her exemplary work in steering medical research and in raising public awareness that I am honored to present, for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa, Susan Landau Axelrod.
By action of a joint committee of faculty and trustees, and by the virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon you, Susan Axelrod, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa, and admit you to all rights and responsibilities pertaining to that degree. As a token of this honor, I ask that you be vested with the hood appropriate to the degree, and I present you with this diploma.
Raymond Dean Jones, a 1967 graduate of Colorado College, earned his law degree from Harvard in 1971, thereafter becoming a licensed attorney in Colorado, where he has since enjoyed a distinguished legal career in Colorado as a lawyer and a judge. He has held teaching positions at Metropolitan State College and at Colorado College, where for several years he taught law and social justice in our political science department. He is a member of the American Bar Association and 4 other bar associations. He has extensive training and experience in dispute resolution. He has been recognized for his work by a wide array of professional associations. And in 2012, he gained the Colorado Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Humanitarian Award for seeking justice and community service, particularly fitting as he marched with Dr. King in the civil rights movement. Ray has been deeply involved in college life as a student and as an elected alumni trustee. Ray Jones combines liberal learning with professional success and unstinting service of the kind we have just heard described to every community and every organization of which he has been a part. For these reasons, Madam President, I am most happy to present Raymond Dean Jones for the degree Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
By action of a joint committee of faculty and trustees, and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon you, Raymond Jones, the degree Doctor of Laws honoris causa, and admit you to all rights and responsibilities pertaining to this degree. As a token of this honor, I ask that you be vested with a hood appropriate to the degree, and I present you with this diploma.
Antonio Scarmeta is at home here at Colorado College. Writer, professor of literature and philosophy, connoisseur, TV personality, iconoclast, and diplomat, Antonio's public, prolific, eclectic fiction ranges from short stories to novels, from some early attempts at poetry to plays and film. He became known to the English-speaking world as a writer of importance with his first novel, I Dreamed snow was burning, a moving account of a Chilean soccer player during the last days of Socialist President Salvador Allende Gossen's government. Scarmeta's reputation grew with El Cartero de Neruda, later turned into the Michael Redford's Academy Award-winning film Il Postino. Colorado College was one of the first institutions in the United States to see his film Ardiente Paciencia, Burning Patience, in 1985. And this event marked the beginning of Scarmeta's over 25 years relationship with the college. For his connection to our liberal arts education and to the college, and in recognition of his unequal capaciousness of mind, ethical awareness, integrity, and values, Madam President, I'm honored to present prize-winning writer and cherished friend Antonio Scarmeta for a Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa.
By action of a joint committee of faculty and trustees, and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon you, Antonio Scarmeta, the degree Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa, and admit you to all rights and responsibilities pertaining to this degree. As a token of this honor, I ask that you be vested with the hood appropriate to the degree, and I present you with this diploma. At Colorado College, we have a tradition of inviting one of our seniors to address the graduating class. The class of 2013 has chosen John Samuel Brody as their speaker. Sam, as he's known on campus, is from Columbus, Ohio, and majored in economics. During his time at CC, Sam participated in student government, was captain of the club baseball team, and designed an impressive line of clothing for the annual fashion show. In addition, many on campus recognize Sam for his entrepreneurial spirit as he started an apparel business during his sophomore year. Please help me welcome Sam Brody.
Not too much room. Thank you, President Tiefenthaler. Thank you, Marian Wright Edelman, distinguished recipients of honorary degrees. Thank you, Mother and Father, and all parents and all family for all that you have done. Thank you, Economics Department, for keeping me in line and allowing me to graduate. And thanks to all the individuals I've met who have made this the best 4 years of my life so far. And good morning, fellow classmates. We love Colorado College, home of the incomparable block plan, the best liberal arts school in the Rockies, the picturesque postcard placed under Pikes Peak, and we're very good at selling these points. But these only begin to define our CC. They augment it, establish it, beautify it. But they do not define the character of our CC. And when I say our, I mean all of us. Students, parents, faculty, staff, alumni. Our community at Colorado College defines CC. We make this school. What would our school be without Glenn and Benji's asking how your exam went? Or Andy of the ever-devoted campus safety, picking you up at 7-Eleven at any hour of the night. Or your favorite professor leading you to a final realization in a Socratic manner. From your freshman year roommate to your senior thesis advisor, we've been building and growing a community, a network of mutual trust and connection. When I first sat to compose this speech, it was exactly 2 years after our dear classmate David Blackett passed away. David was an energetic young man, an exceptionally talented writer, a sailor, a surfer, and a devoted friend. I will always remember his story, Heart of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and his unique style. To nourish his presence in our community, our class has dedicated its senior gift to the David Blackett Memorial Fund. David will always live on in our CC community. Our senior class is a community in and of itself, and has already done some pretty impressive things. From the event series First Mondays to the creation of Classy Wednesdays. From increased advocacy in local government to the formation of new groups and approaches to mental health awareness, we've made our mark. So what now? Was this just the perfect 4 years where we learned challenging as well as fascinating, albeit sometimes obscure, subjects, interacted with scholars and academics distinguished in their field, and capitalized on the bountiful resources, lectures, and opportunities our CC has offered us, and then we vanish? Or do Colorado College and this unparalleled community we've built live on through us and with us forever? My answer? We will live it. We will live it by staying connected, whether it be by our electronic means or that really old thing my parents always encourage, a phone call, or by making the time to talk with a classmate or a professor. We will live it by expanding our community to include many more and connect those with mutual interests. One of my favorite professors, Jim Parko, he once said, well, he actually said it a lot, you get the network you deserve. Our community, this hybrid network of social academic connections, is unrivaled. And as we catapult into our lives, let us remember our community's essence as we define the character of our future, being the entrepreneurs, the activists, the environmentalists, creators and builders, those that see what can be improved in the world and will change it. And we will succeed together. We need this network we built, this community of other like-minded individuals who understand why the block plan, who understand the intense drive inside of each of us. As we shake and move, let us remember where we came from and the community we will always be a part of. So we remember who we truly are and the hope we possess to revolutionize the world. So my fellow mountain-loving, knowledge-seeking, thematically creative classmates, let us keep in mind CC and all it gave us, all we gave it, and what we gave each other, other than high fives and the common cold. And while I might not recall every event I attended, laugh I had, or any midnight breakfast, I will forever remember how this place made me feel at home. I will carry our CC with me, and I hope you do too. How close we are, proved by the affection we know when we would walk into Warner at noon and see every friend ever. The reasons we are dedicated to our work, revealed in all its splendor by the social commotion of Tutt Library during 4th week. The importance of nature and activity as we watch soccer matches on the Preserve Hill on beautiful fall days. Our interest in each other, like having that random crush on that person you see at Rassel Lunch every day. And simply being a part of this campus community with so many people I respect and love. These are our friends, and this is our community. Here we learned how to build, and we will keep on building our CC in our new communities. I believe you will, and I implore you to cultivate our connections and friendships because they what make the world go round. We may be headed to different corners of this absurdly astounding universe in 500 different professions and ventures, but we will always share this place and these times together. You get the network you deserve. We've all worked 4 hard to do our part within a tremendous community. Together, we've had a sampling of the best. Together, we can and should carry that forward into our promising future. We are our CC. Be excellent to each other, class of 2013. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Along with the undergraduate students who will receive their bachelor's degrees today, Colorado College awards the Master of Arts in Teaching degree to teachers who have spent the last few summers at Colorado College in pursuit of their master's degrees. Colorado College is proud of its long-standing commitment to providing programs for teachers in our community, and we're proud of these teacher leaders who will guide the next generation of students. To our graduating MAT students, on behalf of the college and faculty, we offer congratulations and support for your important work.
Will the candidates for the degree Master of Arts in Teaching please stand? Madam President, I have the honor to present the candidates for the degree Master of Arts in Teaching.
By action of the faculty, the Board of Trustees concurring, and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degree Master of Arts in Teaching and admit you to all rights and privileges and responsibilities pertaining to this degree. As a token of your accomplishments, I present your diploma and ask that you be vested with the hood appropriate to this degree.
Will the candidates please present themselves to receive their diplomas? Tricia D. Anthony. Dina Bennett. Lois Elaine Conator. Nicole J. Girardin. Rio Nagai. Gretchen C. Nesselrode. Joanna Marie Rakowski. Yuki Rockwell. Karen Virginia Rose. Lori Wagner. Those who are to receive the degree Master of Arts in Teaching in absentia are listed in the commencement program. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts please stand? Madam President, I have the honor to present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts.
By action of the faculty, the Board of Trustees concurring, and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degree Bachelor of Arts and admit you to all rights and privileges and responsibilities pertaining to this degree. As a token of your accomplishments, I present your diploma.
Will the candidates please present themselves to receive their diplomas? John Samuel Brody, senior class speaker. Kaylin Jesse Aquisto, cum laude. Nora Alami, cum laude. Casey Sprung Alexander. Andrew Leonard Allen Follender, magna cum laude. William Lewis Allenbach. Austin Zane Titkemeyer Allison. Charles Allison Godfrey. Rafael Alonso Arenas. Daniel Joseph Alvarado. Ashley Cynthia Amato. Alexandra Ryan Ammons. Owen Adams Anderson, cum laude. Reginald Cyril Wallace Anderson, cum laude. Zachary William McLean Anderson. Philip Karavides Angelides, cum laude. Meredith Lynn Antonucci. Ryan Scott Armstrong. Anya Michelle Arndt. Zachary Albert Atchison. Laura Elizabeth Atkins. Anu Natasha Kors Atre, cum laude. Kimberly Elaine Babcock. Benjamin Blake Balance. Samantha Christine Barlow, magna cum laude. Elise Nicole Bassman. Robert Grega Baxter. Owen Randall Bean, cum laude. Carolyn Susan Beaton, magna cum laude. Matthew Daniel Beck. Zachary David Bellows. Maxwell Steinbach Bendis. Theodore Haveracker Benson. Kelsey Lynn Bergeson, magna cum laude. Hadley Jardine Berg, cum laude. Hannah Marie Berglund. Hisham Beydoun. Caleb Evans Burchard. Benjamin Allen Birch. Laura Laval Blackett, cum laude. Sarah Reed Bodner, magna cum laude. Jeremy Joseph Borer. Michael Francis Boyven. William Henry Bowers. Nathan Gerard Boyce. Zane Clay Bridges, cum laude. Kelson Pierce Brighton. Gabrielle Anna Brilliant. Margaret Ellen Brocklin. Patrick Charles Brody. Patrick? Come on down. Patrick Charles Brody. Grace Lynn Brofman. Rosalind LaFrance Brokaw. Ellie Ann Brown. Susanna DeSanz Brown, cum laude. Kelly Louise Brown. Kyle Robert Buckwalder, summa cum laude. Sean Donovan Buck. Jackson Holzberg Buckley, cum laude. Patrick Nathaniel Bullard. Santiago Bourbano, cum laude. Anne Hockaday Burcham. Audrey Janine Burns. Elizabeth Leona Crow Burris, cum laude. William Colum Busby. Brett Anthony Bustos. Heather Lawton Cabot. Kathleen Margaret Callahan. Rebecca Blaine Carper. Kathleen Ann Carroll. Justine Lenore Carrier. Lacey Antonia Carter. Daniel Castillo. Zachariah John Chapman. John Geiger Checkton. Paige Rebecca Cheshire. Nathan Jeffrey Childs. Allison Nicole Chin. John Epstein Christie, cum laude. Hayun Chung. Mina Chung. Catherine Alexis Cerullo. Andrew Christopher Clark. Zora Nomnikelo Cobb. Zachary Michael Cohen. Tyler Brian Cohen. Devin Barnes Cole. Ellen Rowe Cole. Edward Charles Collins. Daniel John Condren. Dylan John Conway. Amanda Marsh Cook. Anna Ganter Crosby. Cecilia Ann Crossan. David Andrew Cully. Michael Jude Curran. Charles Boone Curtis. Henrik Wessenberg Dale. Stephen Byron Damon. Bryce Delano Daniels. Elizabeth Mary Dansker. Leah Christina Danzy. Zachary William Darling. Nicholas David Detells. Candace Michelle Datz, cum laude. Chelsea Leovi Davenport. Annika Karen Davis. Margot Elizabeth Davis, cum laude. Catherine Louise Demon. Blair Denman. Alexander Amschutz Demaray, magna cum laude. Deborah Rose Decken, cum laude. Colby Diamond. Marielle Louise Dick. Adam Robert Dickerson. Christopher Curtis McCubbin Dixon, cum laude. Haley Gates Diekman. Amelia Louise Dotsenrod. Elijah Joseph Doriso. Thomas Downing. Keith McCarthy Drury. Peter Daniel Duker. Natalia K. Dupiel. Adam Jacob Edelman. Daniel Foster Epstein. Emily Dana Epstein. Cindy Judith Estrada. Samuel Robert Factoro. Emily Jennifer Faxon. Nicole Teresa Fazio, cum laude. Matthew Evan Fechter.
Sandy, if you could slow down just a little bit.
Okay. Sarah Rachel Figus. Eddie Andrew Figueroa. Abby Mackenzie Fink. Amanda Victoria Cacavio Flores. Anna Bailey Folks. Kelsey Folks, magna cum laude. Emily Silver Franklin. Victoria Marie Frascentis, magna cum laude. Matthew John Emmanuel Friedman. Anna Elise Fuchs, cum laude. Ryan Donald Gall. Luke Garrett Gallione, magna cum laude. Noah Allen Gallo Brown. Camila Galofre Ochoa. Isabel Alida Gary. Megan Patricia Gary. Emerson Wagner Gates. Kristen Corinne Gay. Sarah Ann Geis. Ethan Dale Gentz. Alexandra Geneva Gersten. Jonathan Edward Gestel. Nicholas Peter Geyer. Aubrey Danielle Gilbert. Denali Nooney Gillespie. Nicole Valerie Gillette. Yael Sophie Gilo. Rachel Harris Gibbs. Ariana Vincent Glantz. Alexander Schiff Glassman. Robin Hadley Gleason. Laura Galen Goldsmith. Catherine Marie Goldstein, cum laude. Michael Reed Gorsage. Erin Louise Gold. Marissa Catherine Grados. Brian Kenneth Graff. Carlin Elizabeth Graham. Courtney Chantel Marguerite Green. Thomas Hildreth Grow. Ryan Alexander Haas. Jordan Savi Haber. Andrew Mark Hall, cum laude. Andrew Carl Hamburg. Jingjing Han. Rebecca Eve Harburg, cum laude. Patrick Waller Hardy. Tessa Ashley Harlan, magna cum laude. Alexander Carl Harleen. Connor Patrick Harris. Sarah Lorian Hart, magna cum laude. Lauren Alexandra Harvey. April Lucille Hearn, cum laude. Laurel Robinson Hecker, cum laude. Ryan Jarvis Hedges. Samuel Alexander Henderson. Peter Hang, cum laude. Brian Daniel Hirsch. Laurel Ann Hess. Eva Tashima Hicks. Reed Andrew Hilmer. Claire Jean Honig. Joanna Catherine Holbrook. Hannah Lee Hoopengarner. Daniel Lewis Hovansek. Liliana Spear Hoverston. Brianna Susan Hoy Skubik. Patrick John Hughes. Brian Todd Hummel Price. Demetria Beacom Humphreys. Sarah Jager Hutcherson. Anthony Charles Hyatt. James Iredell Eigelhart. Anne Fesu Ireland, cum laude. Yukiko Iwasaki. Harriet McMillan Jacobs. Eric Richard Jacobson, cum laude. Sarah Louise Jacobson. Joseph Nicholas Jammel. Emma Christina Johnson. Nicholas LaRue Johnson. Rachel Elise Johnson. Trevor Garrett Johnson. Robert Theodore Jones, cum laude. Carrie Thomas Jonker. Gabrielle Glenn Kaminsky. Taylor Marie Kanamori. Jessa Carlberg. Hannah Mae Carlson. Nicole Margaret Kaufman. Noelani Rie Kawashima. Charlotte Hannah K. cum laude. John Frederick Keenan. Austin Thomas Keller, cum laude. Leah Rader Kellogg, cum laude. Diane Sharp Kelly. Sarah Caitlin Kelsey. Callie-Ann Mackenzie Kemling, cum laude. Oliver James Johnson Kennan. Deborah Francesca Kennedy. Cole Kennedy. Tatiana Hasova. Caitlin Victoria Kirkpatrick, magna cum laude. Alexis Dale Kleiman. Christopher Broderick Klein. Colin Roberts Knaus. Patrick Timothy Connect. Rune Ariella Knight. Nicholas Nyrup Koch. Angela Victoria Komar. Hallie Blecker Kopal, cum laude. Catherine Fleming Krieger. Leland William Critch. Phoebe Caitlin Kula-Segram. Brendan Ray Lamar. Cum laude. Nicholas Christopher Lammers, magna cum laude. Halsey Woodworth Landon. Tyler Kendrick Larrabee. Anastasia Marina Laval. Benjamin Adam Lawrence. Catherine McFerrin Leaf. Sarah Michelle Lebovitz. Nathan Harry Lee, cum laude. Sydney Marie Licklider. Kelsey Aaron Lenahan. Shupang Lee, cum laude. Rachel Elizabeth Lindau. William Edward Lindsay. Nathan Alexander Liss, cum laude. Matthew William Liston, magna cum laude. Merritt Newton Logan. Owen Templeton Lopez. Garrison Kent Lovelace, summa cum laude. Araceli Luna. Elizabeth Marie Luttrell, magna cum laude. Brittany McCall Lyman. Molly Christine Lynch, cum laude. Lindsay Elizabeth McCary. Thayer Hall McClay, cum laude. Devin Marilyn McLeod, cum laude. Nancy Warner McCooch. Alicia S. Mallet. Joseph John Marciano. Adam Christopher Marciniak. Nathan Joshua Margolis. Forrest Robert Marowitz. Victoria Brown Marsh. Chase Beal Larson Martin. Eric Peter Matson. Elaine Rodler McCartan. Margaret Grace McCleskey. Anna Marie McCready. Margaret Hain McDermott. Flynn Paxton McGuire. Henry Coffey McKenna. Lily Caitlin McCoy. Catherine Stryker McManus. Matthew Joseph McNerney. Ty Paul McVicker. Adam John Meek. Stephen Gregory Meir, cum laude. Melissa Aaron Melamud. Sarah McDonald Murfeld. Jessica Kate Vassington Meyer. Elizabeth Katahdin Michaels, magna cum laude. Elise Nicole Miller, cum laude. Sarah Lindsay Miller. Alejandro Millership. Anna Hemming Minsky, cum laude. Michiko Audrey Mitsunaga Witten. Tess O'Connor Mitzner. Molly Collins Moffett. Mikhail Mohammed. Cameron Joseph Montana, cum laude. Elliot William Moores. Hollis Lockwood Moore. Jeffrey Andrew Moore. Kristen Noel Moray, cum laude. Jama Jabril Moynihan. Monica Jane Muller. Carolyn Wilkinson Mulroy. Lindsay Evelyn Murdoch. Olivia Krantz Meyerson. Jacqueline Nicole Naylor. Elizabeth Grant Newcomb. Anne Queen Wynn, magna cum laude. Kwa Dong Tae Win. Natalie Leon Nichols. Carolyn Blair Nicholson. Amanda Jean Knoll. Charles David Noel. Alyssa Chalet Northam. Brennan Elise O'Connell. Sean Andrew O'Keefe. Virginia James Oates. Ryan Kiyoshi Ogi. Susan Fippen Ogleby, cum laude. Nicholas Marcus Oman. Carolyn Twyla Olson. Jackson Partridge Ordway. Kai Edwin Ori. Nathaniel Wells Parrish. Phoebe Amelia Parker Shames, magna cum laude. Gabriel Dixon Patterson. Joseph McHugh Patterson. Nathaniel C. Pearson. Julia McKella Pendleton Knoll. Sarah Bosher Parasance. Malcolm Samuel Perkins Smith. Laura Harper Peschick, magna cum laude. Hannah Carol Peterson. Sarah Nelson Phillips. Lila O'Farrell Pickus. Alice Christine Plant. Lindsay Carol Pointer, cum laude. Andrew Alex Pope, cum laude. Alani Premer. Kristen Francis Price, cum laude. Sipora Franz Prokopnik. Catherine Elise Rafter. Natalie Alexandra Rahal. Zuri Britt Randall. William Charles Rapuzzi. Sophia Marie Recca, magna cum laude. Johnny Bernard Reed. Alexandra Jane Regis Rewerts. Blake Lawrence Reichert. John Henry Rior. Frederick Ian Rewalt. Annalise Viola Rice, cum laude. Lauren Elizabeth Rice. Stephen Antonio Rijo. Alexander Matthews Robertson. Carmen Viviana Rohde. Jamie Lynn Roman. Marian Lelia Roosevelt. Jakob Johannes Rosengarten. Daniel K. Rosso, cum laude. Nina Sadie Rommel. Haley Jean Round, cum laude. Monica A. Raskowska. Soraya Cherise Ruano, cum laude. Margaret Grace Rubel. Kayla Ann Ryan, magna cum laude. Brianna Alita Worley Salih. Benjamin Hammonds Sandalo. Nicholas Tobias Sander, cum laude. Hannah Saeed. Lauren Emily Schneider. Sophia Juliet Schneider. Bryn Mallory Shore. Sarah Margaret Rose Schroeder. Amanda Marie Scott, magna cum laude. Corey Breaker Scott, cum laude. David Houston Scott. Ellen Snow Scully. Adrielle Talise Joy Seidman. Kathleen Marie Sen. Abigail Chandler Seymour, cum laude. Davis Alexander Schomburger. William Welling Sheehan. Trevor Booth Shepard. Allison Elizabeth Siegel, cum laude. Vyacheslav Alexander Sigalov. James Richard Sylvester III. Meg Lauren Simon. Margot A. Simon. Rebecca Lynn Simpson. Erica Hannah Singer. Haley Claire Smith. Samuel Wilson Smith. Shay Nanette Smith, magna cum laude. Tyler James Snover. Zachary Nathan Snyder, magna cum laude. Reed Meyer Snyderman. Zoe Rose Solomon. Sarah Ruth Spears. Angela Jane Spencer. Ashley Jean Spire. Kate Ann Squires. Frances Ann Stott. Ian Ramsey Stabler. Molly Grace Stallings. Annabelle Atkins Starrett. Talia Rebecca Steiger. Jessica Nicole Steinsick, magna cum laude. Catherine Cushing Stetson. Melinda Elizabeth Stinchfeld. Sandra Strebel, cum laude. Kim Marie Sundermeyer. Allison Eugenia Suzukamo. David Anthony Swift. Eric Chandler Hayner Sorelia. Camille Ann Talashe. Zachary Borden Tams. Krista Ann Sakaya Tawny, magna cum laude. Cynthia Jean Taylor. Teresa Ann Taylor. Benjamin Cooper Taymor. Joanna Paulina Tebben. Aksumzawi Yehidego Teklu. Catherine Edgerly Teeter, cum laude. Shannon Nicole Thomas. Alexandra K. Thompson, cum laude. Brennan Caleb Thompson. William Stewart Thompson. Tyler Kelvin Thorne, magna cum laude. Anna Louise Tennell. Catherine Barr Titley. Laura Kimball Tui Banzai. Brianna Rachel Traxinger. Marta Lee Trippy, cum laude. Ugan Peljor Sering. Andrea Darlene Tuddope. Kimberly Joe Toronto. Richard Burr Tweedy. Rebecca May Twombly. Tucker Noah Tyler. Siri Peshauer Unlin. Lynette Emily Vacha, cum laude. Nicole Renee Valdez. Hunter Phoenix Van Wagner. Jitu Avinash Varanasi. Kelly Elizabeth Varian, magna cum laude. Benjamin Patter Varick. Sarah Amelia Velez. Andrew J. Vieira, cum laude. Marika Kramer Virag. Camilla Bennett Vogt, cum laude. Kate Ann Vukovic. Sierra Jane Walker, cum laude. Amanda Jean Wallace. Marlena Ann Wallace, magna cum laude. Mary Wong. Hannah Sime Ware. Thomas Meany Weaver. Harlan Ray Webster. Alexandra Lynn Weeks, magna cum laude. Matthew Timothy Widener. Elizabeth Ray Wyrick. Hannah Elizabeth Wellman, cum laude. Kristen Lynn Wells, magna cum laude. Evan Miles White. Zachary Ryan White. Alexander Hogan Whiting. Karis Joy Whitna, cum laude. Achine Aranda Vijaysinga. Eli Bennett Williams. Jordan Christopher Wilson. Nathaniel Merritt Wilson. Erica Judith Wineland Thompson. Alyssa K. Whistler. Hunter Alexander Wolfel. Leanna Beth Wolfman, cum laude. William Alexander Wolford. Melissa Renee Woolley. Brian Andrew Ray, cum laude. Daniel Marian White. Maya Arian Wynn. Melanie Lee Yema. Leonardo Tanyu Yuba. Hillary Megan Zeiss. Anna Claire Zakon. Esther Jennifer Zolotova. Madeline Bonnell Zussman. Those who are to receive the degree Bachelor of Arts in absentia are listed in the commencement program.
skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for pilgrim feet who stern in passion stress, a thoroughfare for freedom beat across the wilderness. America, America, God mend thine every flaw. Confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in love. All right.
Before I offer a final blessing, I want to offer you as graduates to make your most significant contribution of the day. So, class of 2013, turn and face your families. Now show them your gratitude. And now turn around and thank your professors. And finally, with awe and wonder, salute the mountain that inspired Catherine Lee Bates, CC session, summer session professor extraordinaire, to write America the Beautiful. Every beginning demands an ending. Every ending promises a beginning, and now is such a time. Every meeting awaits a leaving. Every leaving remembers a meeting. And here is such a place. Now is as good a time as any. Here is as fine a place as you will find. It's time to live your life. Dream it, believe it, live it. Assign yourself. Keep them scratching. Be at home, be at peace, be at love, pack light, shine forth. Be the network, be yourself, be one. Go and commence. Amen.